What's good, everybody? Thanks for checking me out. I want to send a shout out to everybody who just subscribed to the channel. Got some good likes, good comments on that Aquaman movie review. Actually, the subject I wanted to talk about today was the top topic that came up in the Aquaman movie review, and that is, where does the DCU go from here? The DCU consists of about 7 movies so far, with Shazam and Wonder Woman coming out, so I guess you can put that up to 9. So far, we have Man of Steel, which was mixed reviews. I actually liked it. I thought it was a great movie, to be honest with you. Shannon and Henry Cavill, the whole cast was great. I thought it was a good story. I don't know about the murder at the end, though, but yeah. Suicide Squad, that was just horrible, because why do you have the Joker in your movie and he's a side character, like he's a nobody? He should have been the focal point of the movie. Literally, that was just a complete waste of time. Batman versus Superman was just the wrong idea. It was a 3-hour movie, and Batman and Superman only fought like 2 minutes, if that. I would have had Batman and Superman going at it. That scene where Superman sort of wrecked the Batmobile and then snatched the doors off the Batmobile. I would have had Batman electrocute the hell out of him right there, and then Superman maybe threw Batman into a car or a building or something like that, and then tell him, hey, I can kill your ass, Batman, but consider this mercy, and he flies off. Or you can have Batman say something back and forth. Just a little go, but a little go back, but just to have that one fight scene in a whole 3-hour movie and to spoil it with Doomsday at the end is, I can go on and on about Batman versus Superman and how much of a waste of time that movie was. From there, we had Wonder Woman, which to me was a great movie. I loved it. I thought it touched every note. Good origin, great fight at the end, I guess you say, with Ares. It just put Wonder Woman over as very powerful. So it did its job. I thought that movie was great. It appealed to everybody. So yeah, great job with Wonder Woman. And then we had Justice League. What the fuck? I can go on and on about Batman versus Superman and Justice League, and just how much of a waste of time. When you have $100 million budget and they're like, hey, write something cool, put some cool shit on the screen for the comic book fans and for everybody, and that's the best you can do. The Steppenwolf, and you know what I mean? That's the best ideas that y'all Hollywood writers could come up with. That's the absolute best you can do, is Justice League. It's pathetic. It's just simply pathetic. You could put me in a room with 3 crackheads for 20 minutes and we could write something better than that. So where do I think they should go from here after everything that we had a few years ago and off the momentum they just built with the great Aquaman movie? I think they need to introduce new characters ASAP. You need new characters like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. When you first started doing these movies, you needed new characters. And I don't mean the basics, because we already know, everybody knows about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash. People who don't even care about comic books knows who Batman and Superman is. So what you need to do is, while you got everybody's attention, you need to give them something to look forward to in the future and to be excited about. So what I'm talking about right now is Red Hood and Nightwing. I think you need a movie with them two in it together. I don't care about their origins in the comics book world, because the comic book world has nothing to do with the movie world, because there are slight changes that we always, argue about that sometime. So the movie I would have them do is maybe Nightwing and Red Hood. They're past their Robin days. They don't talk to Batman no more. And one of them thinks the other one is actually a bad guy now. So they're investigating and chasing each other, thinking each other's a bad person. You can have them have 2 or 3 fight scenes, and don't make it like all-out fight scenes. Have it be skirmishes where, one catches the other, one gets the upper hand, and then one escapes. But then, so have a couple skirmishes like that. Now, their third and final fight scene should be an all-out war. It should make the Batman warehouse scene look like a walk in the park. You know what I mean? It should make that scene look like nothing. I want them to fight and knock chunks off each other's armor and masks and things like that. You got to have Nightwing with his electric sticks, and you got to give Red Hood his guns. Maybe one of the bullets can actually graze Nightwing when he's trying to shoot him. You know what I mean? So you got to have this be a really intense fight scene. During this fight scene, I want each one of them to sort of get the hell knocked out of them where they're down. And while they're down, they have a flashback, just a quick one, a quick flashback to themselves training with Bruce. And that's where you can have Ben Affleck, because yes, I do want Ben Affleck. I love him as Batman. So that's where you can have a flashback of them training against Bruce, and maybe Bruce knocking the hell out of them and telling them get up, showing them no mercy and just being really mean to them. Then from there, you can have the fight end when maybe they go crashing into a wall or into a secret room or something like that. And then you can see that he still had his Robin suit. So if he still have his Robin suit and he's tied to it like that, maybe that gives both of them like, hey, this guy really isn't bad, you know? So that could end a fight, and then they can go take on whoever. And that could be the conclusion of their movie. And that way you can introduce both of them into the DCU. Now, quickly, I'm gonna give you a few other characters that they should introduce into this universe, or that should have already been introduced. Number one is Martian Manhunter. He's one of the stalwart members of the Justice League. And since we're talking about the comic book movie world, we need characters and aliens and, you know, magical powers and all that shit on the screen. So Martian Manhunter, of course, he should have already been in the universe. He's basically DC version of Vision from the Marvel universe. So yeah, they should have already had him in there. But if not, they need to give him a cameo in Wonder Woman 1984, that movie that's coming out for Wonder Woman. You need to go back, do some reshoots, put Martian Manhunter in there some way, somehow. Next up is Green Lantern. They teased us with him in Justice League, but Hal Jordan, John Stewart, whichever version you want, you need to have a Green Lantern already in the universe years ago. He should have had a cameo. It should have been something already in there. And that leads me to my next issue with them, is they tease us too much. They teased us with Green Lantern existing in the universe, but they didn't really show us. They teased us with a Robin existing in the universe, but he's never been shown. They teased us that Joker was going to be a villain in Suicide Squad, but he wasn't really in there. That's what I mean. All that teasing and never really following through with these promises. So that would be my next instructions to them, is have better direction with your movies. Have these cameos and all this other crap lead into something. You know what I mean? So just know which order you're going to go in with your movies years in advance and plan that shit out accordingly. Because I feel like the way that they let these movies out in this order is completely wrong. We should have already had a Green Lantern movie. We should have already had the Aquaman movie. We should have already had Joker by himself, and we should have been looking forward to Justice League coming out next year or something like that. But they rushed it, so I would say just have better direction in the future. And last, I would say they need to be more creative with their action scenes. I mean, so far it's been pretty basic, and I mean, for the most part, they suck. You'll have a good one every once in a while, but when you compare it to the MCU, which is what we do, I mean, they're basic. So I would say what we got in Aquaman movie was creative and just really outside of the box, but you can't depend on James Wan to come in there and save your ass every time. So I would say they need to be more creative and try to give us things that we haven't seen before with Batman or Superman or whatever character they're having at the moment. They need to give us way better action scenes. So go back and watch Justice League when they're fighting Steppenwolf. Is that not the most boring, basic ass fight scenes you ever saw? So that's what I mean. Be more creative in your action and your CGI. Think outside the box and just give us things on the screen that we never saw before. But anyway, that's just a few of my ideas of how the DCU can be saved and where they can go from here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's get a good debate going. Do you think they need to reboot it, or do you think we can continue with the characters we got? Anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so it's much appreciated. And anyway, other than that, I'll catch your ass out there in this universe. Peace.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM.
You have super strength.
PM, you just got.
Can you fly?
If I quit your PM, I still rock Mercedes. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
You okay? Why are you talking?
Oh.